people are like, how in the world did you guys get this idea? So
I think it's just because we're grown men child. No, it's because if you got a Lamborghini body shell just sitting there with no real, nothing to do, it's like, what could you do with that? That's something cool.
Welcome to another episode on Modified with TrickFactory Customs. If this is your first time watching, my name is Elvis.
Tim.
Rob.
Awesome. And we are a custom automotive shop based here in British Columbia, Canada. And we build really cool and awesome cars. And so on this show, we just talk about modifying cars, modified cars. And I think in this episode, it's going to be awesome and interesting because we are focusing on, or we're going to be talking about our Lambo Tahoe marriage project thing.
It's caused quite a ruckus.
Yes, it has. It's been crazy. I've been responding to literally thousands of comments because we just posted the series online. If you don't know what it is, just give us a brief thing, and then we'll dive into what you guys have been up to all week, and then dive into the main topic.
So we ended up buying a wrecked Urus. We're pulling the drivetrain out of it for another project. What left us with not really a repairable shell.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do something fun with it, so we thought it would be cool. So we went on a deep dive to find out what would be the best, and then we have a whole bunch of leftover parts. So we just decided that we're going to put this Lambo body on a Tahoe chassis with a twin turbo LS, 40-inch tires, long travel suspension, just for the sake of doing it. It's
because
not
we
smart.
can.
We can. It's fun. Everybody in the shop wanted to just do something for fun.
Yeah. So we're gonna dive into that later.
Right.
I don't want to give too many spoilers here. So before we continue, what have you guys been up to all week?
Well, it's been a good week. I've been everywhere and doing all the things, but I think my primary focus as far as things that are really, really cool is I've been working on developing parts for the 190 projects that we have in the shop. We're just happening to be using Tim's Evil Evo as our test mule. I've also been working on the Ford Thunderbird. We have some custom HVAC stuff that I've developed for that dash. Still on the Skylark. Awesome. I've been everywhere. I've just been doing a lot of things.
Yeah. I've been seeing the progress you have on the Evo subframe, and so that looks really good. All the tubes and looks very
Thank
tasty.
You so much. It should work exceptionally well. I hope.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't, it looks dope.
And you've put the steering rack in. So after that, what else is left for the Evo to be driving? Just the dry sump?
Yeah, some dry sump plumbing. I think we machined the brackets for it this week. So that's just a matter of attaching them to the container and getting it in there, and then it's ready to roll.
Yeah. So then a little bit of plumbing, like it already had. Well, it was already a running car, so we're just adding a dry sump to it. So we just got to modify a little bit of the plumbing for that to make that system work, and we're gonna be out on the street actually driving it.
Awesome.
And then we'll be developing it further from that point. I mean, we got to prep it in a couple of different ways for our dyno sessions coming up, so you're going to want to pay attention to that.
Oh yeah.
Next step is the Nuke Performance air jacks.
Oh,
actually, yes. We've been looking forward to mounting those things into the chassis for a long time,
forever. So
they're a really nice product. I mean, if anybody listening or watching, if you don't know who Nuke Performance is, you've got to check them out. They're a Swedish company, and they make just absolutely unbelievably high-end product. Works exceptionally well, and we keep using them over and over and over again because of that very reason.
Yeah. So the viewers should look forward to Evo burnouts soon, because we've also hit we've passed 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah, we promised them that we were going to deliver on that.
So the timing's actually, it worked
almost
out.
perfect.
Yeah,
yes. So in a few videos, you should be seeing the Evil Evo spinning, smoking some tires, and yeah. So what have you been up to all week, Tim?
More boring stuff.
Okay.
Going back and forth, working on renders, chasing parts, trying to get stuff together for the Skylark, chasing a bunch of new equipment, which you've been helping with.
Yeah.
So that's just been, again, sitting at my desk. So the only time I got my hands dirty is we put the big block back in the Corvette.
Oh, nice. Okay,
So,
finally,
got that done.
that's awesome. That would be so sick to see it fire it up again.
Yeah,
Have you?
that was a
have
long
you-
project.
Have you started up yet or no?
No, I hope to probably get it running by Monday or Tuesday.
Ooh.
So,
It had been run though.
oh, it's been
Yeah,
run on
it's
a
been
dyno.
run
Oh,
on a
okay,
dyno.
okay.
So
So
we
we're
don't have to
sure
worry
that it'll be glorious.
All we're doing is just plugging and playing. So it's a cool project. It's pretty much all stock numbers matching. 67 Corvette. Am I right?
66.
The 66.
Big block, 4-speed car.
So-
So there's a lot of constraints with that one. That's the opposite of what we do.
Yeah,
That
that's
one's
a weird thing.
We can't go
restoration.
crazy.
Yeah.
We can't. Oh,
So
Yeah, it's
sad.
really hard. It's really hard to hold yourself back doing that stuff because you're like, ooh, if we just do this and this and this,
you're like, no,
But you can't.
no.
You literally can't do
it
it.
loses value
Yeah,
with
it's like,
every. I don't
save
understand
that for the
but-
other project.
gotta
We got-
have this
we got
wing
two
nut
other
and
Corvettes.
this type of clamp and this.
Oh my
It's just-
gosh.
yeah.
So
Not
that'll
for
be,
me.
that'll be cool. That'd be
Yeah.
cool to see that one actually fire up and leave.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, with that said, we're going to dive back into our topic of discussion again, which is our Lambo Tahoe body swap. Have we even thought of a name yet?
Well,
I
the
was-
top contender right now is Uraho.
Euro.
Euroho?
I like the short form version of that Euro.
Euro?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like Euroho is kind of
Euroho.
like, kind
Yeah, it's kind of dancing on the edge there a little bit. I think we like to do that kind of stuff around
Yeah.
here. So
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of
Uraho,
backstory, so
maybe.
I really like Uraho.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Euro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's what? Lambo?
Lamho.
Tahoe-Guinea?
Tahoe.
Yeah,
Lamborghini,
Tahoe
Yeah.
or Tagini.
Taghini. So,
I like Tagini.
if you guys have more suggestions, comment below if you're watching this on video or even if you're watching it in the podcast, or listening to it. If you are listening to it in the podcast as well, you can also comment suggestions, and the most liked comment pretty much gets the name. I think that's where we're gonna go with. And so
I think we might make a little cool prize
badge.
for that.
Oh,
out
price. Okay, price.
Out of some leftover Lamborghini parts.
Ooh.
So
yeah, that's cool. Let's
that
do
would be
that.
pretty cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing with the project, or what have we done? I think last time we did the wiring, we started stripping it, doing a bunch of work just to prep it for the Tahoe chassis. And so, in this video, actually, it's going live today. We're shooting this on Friday, and so. Yeah, so the video is literally going live. I need to, at 10, I'm going to need to post a video on Instagram and do all of that and post a YouTube video and all of that. So stay tuned for that video. You guys have probably watched it, but this episode is going live on Tuesday, so next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that's the time frame that we're working with here. So yeah.
Right.
So any updates so far?
well, we got the motor, trans, drivetrain out. We got the interior out. So now we're left with the parts that we're going to work with. So a lot of people have obviously interjected like, oh, why didn't you just use Audi, blah, blah, blah. Well, the drivetrain part of it is for another project. So that one's going to come out later down the road, but once we get a little bit further along. But we have our base shell now of our Lamborghini. So now we're going to jump on the Tahoe and start making moves to start getting the two of them together.
So what even gave us this idea? Because we told you guys in the YouTube video that we were going to answer all your questions, because people are like, how in the world did you guys get this idea? So
I think it's just because we're grown men child. No, it's because if you got a Lamborghini body shell just sitting there with no real, nothing to do, it's like, what could you do with that? That's
Yeah.
something cool. And it's like, well, rebuilding a full Lamborghini using all Lamborghini parts, it's a little expensive.
So
a little ridiculous.
Part of all this is like in the comments is a lot of people believe like, why wouldn't you just fix that?
Yeah.
Well, trust us. The expense
No.
of buying the panels and putting that, and then even the availability of the panels is just not worth fixing. So this is why we're doing it. So there's going to be a little bit of damage that we're not even going to try to fix. And that's just sort of what jumped us off is like, we don't want to just throw it out.
No.
It does still have some value, but I think this is just going to be a lot more fun. So it's not repairable. It wouldn't
No.
make sense to repair it. So that's why we're doing it.
And even trying to repair it, looking at the cost of some of these things,
Right.
oh my gosh, they are mind blowing. And
Like,
so,
I mean, if you want to watch Goon Squad's
Oh
channel,
my
they
gosh.
break down what the cost of all these different things is, which is why this thing's not worth.
no, it's not worth it.
It's not worth
It's
it.
too far gone, I think. And even with the top, because if you guys don't know, this is the Lambo. We think that it flipped, and so this is a McLaren F1 for reference. But this whole side is just caved in. If you guys are watching on video, you'll see it. But the right passenger side from behind is like bent inwards.
In the roof.
We can push it back
because we're building an exoskeleton. We're gonna have a roll cage. All the inner structure pieces that are like a tremendous amount of money and they're hard to get.
Yep.
We can just push it back, make it strong, but trying to bring it back to OEM spec wouldn't be it wouldn't be
it's
reasonable.
not reasonable to do
or
that,
even
so.
safe too. Like if we're thinking of not even putting a cage in there.
And then on the other side of it, all the guys that are like, why didn't you just buy Audi? Well, this is specifically for another project. That's why we bought a Urus.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
So you can say all those things. Like if I just only wanted the 4-liter hot V,
Yeah.
then obviously I would have bought an Audi. But we got carbon ceramics. We got all the drivetrain.
So many upgrades.
All the interior pieces that are all branded Lamborghini. So obviously a lot of value comes with that. So that's why we have a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to make sense of this project, you're not going to. Because
Yeah.
there's too many levels of it that just on one side make perfect sense because the resale value of all these parts in the salvage side of it and the aftermarket is huge.
Yep.
So if you buy an Audi, all that takeoff stuff's not worth anything.
No, it's
so
not.
You're almost worth.
No.
It's worth buying this to recover a lot of the expense.
Yeah.
To offset the parts that we need to take for this other project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the comments is just like, don't try to make sense of it. Like, there's no point. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's 100% for fun.
Yeah.
And so okay.
this is just for fun. Like this project is just to put smiles on our faces. You know, we've all been kind of at this for a long time, and every once in a while we need to do things just for fun. Like what we do is pretty serious. We have a good time doing what we do, but this is just for us to sort of like express ourselves in a way that's just less serious and just more for S&Gs.
Yeah, but even if we're doing it for fun, we're actually doing it properly. We're not gonna have the whole
No,
thing.
we're not.
It's going to be
It's
proper.
construction.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just not going to be to the level that we have to do stuff for customers. Like, no, we're still doing it the same.
Yeah,
We're still doing it the same.
We're still
I
gonna
think
end up doing it the
basically,
same.
it's just more or less the refinishing part of it is what's going to get set aside. 'Cause we're just going to make it work and have fun with it. Whereas normally, like, the refinishing and the final product and taking it apart and putting it back together, like, we're not really doing all that.
No.
Like, so the only thing that we're going to cut short on is the refinishing part.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say like the details in fabricated parts and sort of like certain fitment of certain things here and there. That's where we're gonna like we can cut ourselves a little bit of slack in certain things. Like, you know, as an example, like if you're trying to do something really nice, maybe you're gonna want to flush out the bolts and you're gonna want to make sure they're countersunk or whatever.
Oh, okay.
As an example, on this project, we won't necessarily need to do that because that's more for aesthetics and things usually. So we'll just probably do something normal. Like maybe you just have a normal clearance hole, a washer and a bolt, like things like that. We just don't have to go so far. So that will just allow us to sort of dive in and just accomplish quicker and enjoy
And we don't
this.
have to worry about scratching anything.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's already scratched.
It's already scratched. So, like, the biggest part of this is, like, even in the onset of this project, it's like right away a few people that are interested in helping with us. It's like, we should get this. We should get this. We should get this. We're like,
No.
we have this.
We want
know-
all that.
Yes.
Yeah, we know that it's going to break 100%, but that's going to be part of the fun.
I think so.
So we're
too.
just going to see how far we can push stuff, and then this project may or may not evolve based on how popular. If you guys like it, we'll just keep playing with it, keep evolving it, and having fun with it. But I don't want to turn this into like some giant money pit. Like the reality of the situation is like we have the wheels and tires.
Yes.
We have 3 or 4 4-wheel drive transmissions and transfer cases from previous things that we've broken down. We have a twin turbo kit that was for a project that changed direction, so it's just been sitting, and we've been trying to get everybody we know, like, put this on your car, put this on your car.
Like almost like you know what you need? You need a twin turbo.
I
kit
know.
on that.
Yeah. It's so funny.
So we just have it sitting around.
Yeah.
So it's like, finally, it's like, let's do something with this.
Yeah.
We have 90% of this stuff, And realistically, it's still fairly expensive.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Material cost alone nowadays is going to be ridiculous.
Mind blowing.
Especially fact that we're building a SUV size full roll cage.
I'm speaking of material costs and all of that. We need sponsors. So if you are listening to this podcast and you know anyone or any company that would like to, or you are a company that's listening to this right now and you want to sponsor any of the builds or any part of this build, reach out to us at media@trickfactory.com, because we need that, because it's going to be as much as we're doing this on budget and we're using like old parts from previous projects, it's still going to be quite expensive.
Yeah, it's definitely going to start adding up. And if you're interested in being a part of what we got going on,
Yep.
let's have a conversation, right?
Yep. We'll promote whatever your brand is. We can put stickers. We'll talk about all of that. That comes in the whole package. But
And on that note, I think already we have almost 2 million views on this.
yes, we already have 2
I
million.
mean, if you want to know the analytics, it's got some traction. So you got to keep it going.
Instagram, TikTok, all of that. So we'll see how much or how far we can push with the project that we currently have, because we have a render too, right? Yeah, we did a render, and so I'll try to put it on the screen so you guys can see. I think it looks, I've never seen anything like it, and it is so cool to see it on a Lambo, because you can do a similar build on a different truck, but on a Lambo, it's a completely different ball game, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that rendering fires.
Oh, it's so cool.
If you guys are just looking at that and you're like not impressed or whatever, you're dead inside. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
And
But
then
not really.
and then talk to us about what time are we even going to find to do this, because we're busy a lot, and so I feel like there might be some disconnect with the clients now. And
Yeah, so this is not our main focus. This is like on our own time. The guys are essentially volunteering their time to do it. So when we're doing this, and regardless of when it's posted, this is not taken away from customer work.
No.
We're coming in on weekends, doing our own thing outside of our normal work week. So this is not our main focus.
No.
Which is another thing. Like a lot of guys like, you got to do this, 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 and this. And it's like, no, it's not for that purpose. It's
Yeah.
straight up for fun. We're not trying to accomplish really anything with this other than making a toy.
yeah,
So we can't, and that's the other side of it. We can't let it take away from our normal workflow.
Yes.
So if you see it posted on a Tuesday, we didn't do it on Tuesday.
No.
We're working on your car.
no.
Yeah, we. I mean, in our shop, we do a 4-day work week, right? So we work 4 10s.
Mm-hmm.
So like today, we're doing this podcast. It's Friday. Today's actually our day off.
Yeah, but we're still
we're in
coming
here
in
doing this.
podcast.
And why? It's because we like doing this stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know, like each and every one of us, we chose to work longer work days, official work days, so that we have more time during our off days to keep having fun and
Yes.
keep building the things that we want. Because we all have our own projects.
Yeah, Monday
You
to
know?
Friday, we have to be pretty serious.
Yeah.
Like we got to make our hours. We got to return our emails. We got to do all this kind of stuff. Keep our customers apprised of what's happening. So we just need a break. Like,
Yeah.
really.
It's like a refresh, a recharge. You know, doing things for fun is what kind of like reminds us why we got into doing this in the first place. I mean, like you said, we do this stuff seriously, and we try really hard to do really like the best we possibly can, and that's taxing. So we need to do these things from time to time to sort of like reflect on why we got into this in the first place.
And we all got a little bit of Hot Wheels in us.
True.
Oh yeah. And like I said, we're all grown man children.
Yep. If you guys are not seeing, but if you look at this side of the screen, there's a bunch of Hot Wheels here.
Like the whole wall.
Tim is a Hot Wheel is an ex Hot Wheels
Yeah.
collector.
I've
So
since recovered. I had to go to counseling.
and so we just want to build something, a Hot Wheel, pretty much in real life.
Yeah.
And so Hot Wheels, if you want to reach out to us and help us sponsor some things, or you want to turn this into a Hot Wheel.
Project Uraho.
Hey, they're probably gonna call it something else for marketing,
Maybe.
but yeah. So reach out to us, Hot Wheels, if you're interested in this, because we've done not something similar like this before, but we've done things like the BMW, the drift car. We built the drift car.
Yeah, our little
I would say-
E36.
Yeah, I'd say the Evil's on the same
Yeah.
thing. Like, it serves no real purpose.
No.
It's not good at anything other than just being awesome. That's it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
this
I
kind
think-
of falls into the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think that just the difference is the Evil Evo has like some pretty high end project parts
And a lot of
and we put a lot more effort
Yeah.
into the final finish on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and that was part of its purpose.
Yeah,
so.
it was a SEMA car too. So this is not going to be a SEMA
No.
vehicle. So
No.
we can take it to
Maybe.
SEMA. Maybe. Imagine doing like desert runs in this thing. Come, I think it'll be sick.
I mean, at SEMA they got that giant open space where
Yeah.
they have
Oh.
the Raptors and stuff jumping.
That would
and then
be
they got
pretty
the drift
cool.
cars going at the same time. Maybe Project Uraho will be in there jumping
yeah,
too.
because we have long travel
Maybe.
suspension, so it
Right?
technically should be jumpable.
Oh yeah,
But-
we're gonna jump it.
We're
We're jumping it.
gonna use it too. We're gonna go on some trips, hopefully on the weekends. And
Yeah, we intend to break it.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah. The question is, what's gonna break first?
I'm guessing the transmission.
The transmission.
Probably.
I mean, we all suspect the driveline is gonna like just completely disintegrate.
Yep.
Because we're
But
going to be
that's
pushing.
part of the fun.
We're shooting for 1,000 horsepower on a
Oh my
stock bottom end
gosh.
5.3, so we're going to be pushing it really hard. Plus, it's going to be pushing 40-inch tires.
Yep.
Yeah.
So some things are going to break.
Oh,
yeah.
But that's gonna be part of the development of this and for the fun of it.
Yeah, it's just for something.
Because like
to do.
Tim said, we have like a multitude of spare parts. We have many transmissions.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have
We-
transmissions
we-
in the trunk all,
we
the-
have-
at
we
all
have
one
times.
with us.
we have more differentials just kicking it, you know, of a higher sort of standard of strength. So when the stock Tahoe one grenades, which it probably will,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
we will upgrade that when we need to.
Yeah.
So our plan is to just get it driving as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And then if we break it, we evolve. Because our tendency is always to like, this is going to break. We got to change it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it just
And
spirals.
then it goes. And
Yeah.
then next thing you know, you got a full build. Takes you 3 years to get it on the street. Whereas this one is, we're not doing that.
So what's
No.
the timeline for this build?
I think we can have it running and going down. Well, basically the twin turbo kit and all that kind of stuff. That's the first step. Because we can just have fun with that. Like I want to do a 4-wheel burnout and a twin turbo.
No, that does
Tahoe.
not sound like a good idea.
No, it's a great
What are you
idea.
talking about? It's a great
gonna,
idea.
Literally, the transmission is gonna
This
explode.
is testing and tuning.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
this is research and development.
Because I don't know if you guys have seen Cletus McFarland's video when he was trying to do a 4-wheel burnout with his F-150.
Wow.
What was that?
I have no idea.
But he was trying to do a 4-wheel burnout with his F-150 and destroyed the transmission.
Perfect.
So
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
So
with-
what I
with
see
this
there is
project, too.
opportunity
okay,
for someone to give us something that's not going to break.
exactly. So if you want to
see.
donate to
We're
our
offering opopportunity here.
exactly to our free build, pretty much, let us know because we're again
This is more
consolidating
about you
parts.
guys than it is about us.
You want to see the Project Uraho
Yep.
not disintegrate.
I feel
Yeah.
like I'm going to be calling it that a lot.
Regardless of what the final
But
name
when
is.
we lose a wheel, when we lose, it's like,
I don't know if the YouTube algorithm is gonna like that. So yeah, we'll see.
You're
We'll
pretty
see
crappy
about
with
that.
your editing, Elvis. Come on.
I can only edit so much. So
He's like, what
so
did
if
he
you hear
even
that
say?
impact sound, that's probably what I'm saying.
yeah, Europe's. Yeah, okay. I'll try my best. Yeah.
So,
Should be fun though.
Yeah. Anything else?
well, okay, so let's.
Oh, we
let's
can't
just,
give them too much. We got to keep them coming back.
Okay.
So right after doing this podcast this morning,
Yep.
we're gonna jump right into this project and we're gonna get going. So
Yeah.
first things first, what are we doing? What are we gonna do on it?
I think today we're trying to get the turbos in it.
Ooh.
I don't think we'll be making boosts, but we got to get the oil pan in the oil system. We're going to get the manifolds in, mount the turbos, maybe poke some holes in the hood.
We just want to hear the sounds,
we'll hear
the spinny
boozy
boys.
sounds.
Yeah.
we want to hear him spool up.
Yeah, but you still need to do something in the turbos, right? Like you need to work on something because again, this was from an old project. So
Yeah, we got to fix a couple little things because we cleared some tubing and stuff for this
Yeah.
other project that sort of died out. So we got a little bit of repair to do. And then, yeah, mostly just get them in there and make boosty sounds. And then
Awesome.
the next one is actually getting boost into the motor. But today,
Yeah. So I mean, so we're gonna be using a Holly, right? That was
Holly
the plan.
Terminator Max.
The Holly Terminator Max.
Not stock ECU.
No.
Why?
Because we like fiddling with things.
Okay.
No, and the Holly Terminators are really easy
Yeah.
to play with.
With the load we're putting on it, how much power we're trying to get out of it, and then the transmission, I don't think stock shift points and line pressures and all that kind of stuff are going to keep this thing together.
So we don't want to try it first and see what blows up.
Not really.
No.
No. I mean, it would be really nice to not grenade the engine like instantaneously.
Yeah.
I mean,
We do have a
true.
few LSs kicking around. We could toss something in, but let's not do that.
I thought that's what you wanted to do.
No, break it on the first day. Well, we got to at least get it out there and then break it.
That's true. That's true.
No, so we want to get the we're gonna put a proper ECU in it, like the Holly Terminator Max, so that we can control everything properly and make proper boost and just like fire this thing up and let's do a burnout. That's what I want to do.
Plus,
So-
we got so many other things. We got a digital dash for it. We got a bunch of stuff. It's just that part of it's going to make the rest of the project a lot easier.
Yep.
yeah.
That's cool.
So like this project, we're not being constrained by anything, and we're just allowing ourselves to just sort of hack, slash, and have a good time. So
Yeah. So like, oh,
If
sorry.
it's in the way, we're getting rid of it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. kind of like how the Evo was. Like when we did the Evo, everything Mercedes about it, we pretty much eliminated.
Oh wow.
And just made room for the LS, the T56 Magnum, and did all of that stuff. And we just like cut out everything that was in the way, and we don't need that. We don't need that. And we just made it work. And so this one right here is basically the same.
And so what about the Lambo parts that we don't have? Maybe they were too damaged or something. We're just going to make stuff?
Yeah, we're making everything. That's
Okay.
why it's going to have tube doors because the doors are $8,000 a piece. Yeah, so that doesn't make sense.
No.
So that's basically why the render is what it is. Everything that's in the render exists. That's stuff that we already have.
Okay.
So like the render and the way it looks is like it's either we're making it or we already have it.
That's cool.
So like the things that we need are like seats and harnesses and some lights, and we have some people that we can reach out to. So we'll see what comes back and what we actually get for it. But a lot of the decisions that are made and why it looks the way it is because we're not buying Lambo parts.
Yeah.
No,
We're selling Lambo parts, but we're
Yes.
not buying any.
no, we don't need any of that kind of overly complex things. We don't need that. Too expensive, overly complex things to make.
Yeah, and this thing
we're
is
not
not.
into it.
It's not going to be street legal. So that address a bunch of more
What do you mean?
comments.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah. Question. What is it going to be known as? Is it going to be a Lambo in the title, or is it going to be a Tahoe?
Well,
or-
locally here, it'll be a Tahoe.
okay.
I don't know how it applies in whatever other states, and there's been a bunch of speculation of people like making this assumption that this is like the daily driver. Like, that's not what this is.
Why would you daily this thing?
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty
I
sure
think-
it'd be hell.
I think based on our math, yesterday we were just playing around trying to get some things in order, and I think it's 22 inches wider than a stock Tahoe.
Oh my god.
So we're like Hummer. We might even be wider than a Hummer H1.
Yeah,
like this thing is like bordering on a monster truck. Like, it's
Yeah,
gonna
maybe
be
we'll
ridiculous.
touch on that a little bit in one of the videos. Well, about like the track width and everything that this is.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, that's it. I'm about to post the video on Instagram and all of that. So again, go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. So sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So, anyways, this thing's not. It'll technically be a Tahoe here, based by our local sort of rules, and because I think we have to maintain. It goes by the chassis, not
Yeah.
necessarily the body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So-
interesting.
Well, I think you have to retain a certain percentage of it to be able to maintain that. Otherwise, you sort of fall into the whole you build kind of thing. And this thing is never going to pass any kind of inspection. So I think
Well,
it'll.
technically, it probably. Well, yeah.
No.
for
us, but
I mean, track width and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not
probably
passing.
it's not going to be.
We're going to have
real.
tires sticking out.
It's going to be stupid.
If we had to try to make a street
Wait.
legal, the thing would look dumb.
How is it gonna fit on a trailer then? If we're
That's
gonna be,
that's why you always see 'em
topic
take the
for
wheels
a
off.
future conversation, Elvis.
I was like, wait a second.
That's a future TrickFactory problem.
Okay.
So I think our wheels are 15 inches wide.
Whoo.
So
They're thick boys.
yeah, we're going to be taking it to the bush with the little skinny boys on it and then sending it.
Nice.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think there's actually. I watched a channel called Salvage Savage. and
Oh,
they
yeah, I
have,
love
those
those
really
guys.
thin wheels,
Yeah, transport wheels.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to hit those guys up. And if you're listening or watching, if you're those guys, hit us up. We'll probably need those.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Awesome.
That's what we're doing.
Sweet.
So yeah, let's go put some Terpskis on this.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've just posted the Instagram video and YouTube. So with that said, we'll catch you guys next week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Later.